The opinions expressed on this program are solely those of individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of either Spectrum Generations or Time Warner Cable. Mature Lifestyle is made possible by Hollywood Casino. There's no place like Hollywood. And by Knowlton Hewins Roberts Funeral Homes and Cremation Service. Our homes are warm and welcoming, and we take care of you and your family like we would our own. Call us anytime. We are here for you.
Hello and welcome to springtime and to May. We're celebrating Older Generations Month, but who can celebrate better than Spectrum Generations, where we live, laugh, and learn. Have some marvelous guests here today. We have Katy Perry, who knows everybody in Central Maine and probably parts way beyond Central Maine. She is one of my personal heroines because she is an inspiration in all that she does. Katy, welcome.
Thank you.
And then we have the CEO, who's not new anymore because he's quite experienced here at Spectrum Generations, Gerard Queally, and he's going to help me if I slaughter his name because he's such a nice person and has done so much to help this organization grow and to bring services. So thank you for coming, and we're going to celebrate Older Americans Month. It seems like a silly thing to say to Katy Perry. Katy, would you please, I know most people know you, but do you mind sharing your age with us?
I would be delighted. Would you believe 91 and
I would
a half?
not. 91 and a half, so we have a birthday before too long.
Well, then in
And
September.
the last time I saw Katy personally, I see her everywhere. Frankly, she was almost dancing an Irish jig at an Irish party way back in March. But she does a little bit of everything. And one of the things that's always intrigued me is that a young woman, you served in the Peace Corps as well. But you haven't stopped. So tell me a little bit about your youth, and then we can get into how you're celebrating, because you're very young at heart, always.
Well, thank you very much. I really feel a couple of things. You have to maintain a positive outlook.
Yes.
I think that's terribly important. And I have been blessed to have good health, and you have to take advantage of that. And I think probably my major interest in life is people.
Right.
And if you're always sticking your nose in other people's business, you learn a lot and you realize what's going on in your community.
And no one has ever accused you of being shy and retiring. But tell us a little about your family. Did
Well,
you
I
have
have
children?
I have
Yes.
4 sons and 10 grandchildren and 5 great-grandchildren.
Oh my goodness.
And so we have propagated the state of Maine, although many of them have moved away. But my sons are all living in Maine, and they're close to me, and I tell it, and I'm sure that it's kind of redundant, but I'm greatly blessed.
Oh, well, they are blessed to have you as a role model as well. I'm sure you see lots of wonderful people like Katy as you work at Spectrum Generations. Tell us a little bit about how you're celebrating Older Americans Month.
Well, this year, 2012, is the Spectrum Generations 40th anniversary.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
40th anniversary.
40th
That's
anniversary.
wonderful.
So we started back in the early 70s, and our mission is to reach out and help older Americans and disabled adults as well, living here in Central Maine, to kind of stay connected with the community. Very much what Katy was talking about. The successes that Katy has experienced sometimes are not intuitive to every older adult. And to get people active and engaged in the community, to come to our community centers, to go on trips, to experience things that perhaps when people retire, they think they just can slow down, which sometimes is the mistake that people make, that they should stay active, they should volunteer, they should perhaps get a second job, another job. They should just do something to keep their mind going, and Spectrum Generations is available to help people solve those problems.
That's exactly what you were saying earlier to me and to others, that you stay busy. You really have to get out every day to interact with people. And tell us a little bit more about how you do that and why that's so important.
Oh, well, I don't know why I do it, but I have a lot of contacts with very many organizations, such as Chewonki down in Wiscasset, the New England Music Camp, and I could go on and on. I can't think of them, and it
Right.
doesn't make any difference. But it's a diversity of things, and I've always been interested in the arts, and so the museums and the art galleries and the local library have all been things that I have been very interested in, and do volunteer work or whatever needs to be that I can fill in. It's not anything I program, because my life is very relaxed and kind of non-collective, as it were. But I'm happy as a
But
clown.
the point is, you're busy, and you're following things that you enjoy. I think following your passions,
That's
and I
right.
think you're just trying to give people that opportunity.
Well, I agree. I think it's important for people to what we call, and I guess what aging experts call aging in place, to allow people to live in their community, live in their home, feel safe in their home, and be able to connect, whether it comes to transportation or with technology, to other people that are living in their community. One of the things we're working on, or actually we've just finished, is our area plan. This plan takes us from 2012 to 2016. And we went about and reached out to hundreds of older adults in Central Maine to get their opinions about what are we doing right at Spectrum Generations, and what could we do better at Spectrum Generations.
That's a brave question to ask.
Oh,
isn't
very
it,
much so.
sometimes?
We heard a lot of interesting, got a lot of interesting feedback, and we've taken this feedback.
Oh, good.
And we're going to incorporate it into our plan. One of the things that we've heard, especially in Lincoln County, is that people are growing older in their homes, and their homes are not modified to be able to, for them to grow into, and that they become a maintenance burden. And so we're looking at ways to help people figure out how to prepare themselves for age, whether it be a new bathroom or expanded hallways, or moving their bedroom from the second floor down to the first floor, and kind of helping them figure out how to do that, how to fund it, how to prepare for it. So that's just a good example. And when they can do that, they feel like they can stay in their house. They don't have to, the threat, not the threat, but the concern of maybe going to a nursing facility kind of goes further down the road. It's not,
Right.
and then they feel better about their.
Being independent
Absolutely.
is very important to
It
all
is
of us,
important.
isn't it?
Very much
And
so.
when the mind is healthy, the body stays healthy.
And that's exactly what you said earlier. And how do you think you keep that mind so healthy?
Well, I just think it's something I want to do.
And you read a lot.
I
You
do.
talk to people. You told me earlier you didn't have a TV because you've got that mind going all the time.
Well, I miss a heck of a lot of it, because a lot of good stuff, and you excuse me, we're taking something. But on the other hand, it's an addictive thing.
Right.
And
so you
I
don't,
don't-
think as much as someone who had
That's right.
veg out occasionally.
So many people just sit all day,
Right.
and they're tied to that.
Well, I understand you do not sit all day. I have seen some very interesting photographs of you, Miss Perry, and you were dancing. And where was this dancing taking place?
Well, it was at the Cohen Center.
Aha,
And,
so that's another thing you offer, fun and dancing.
Absolutely.
Music is
Music.
inspiring. I can't sit still.
Without the music.
Well, if there's jazzy music going, I'm going to.
Are you a musician as well?
Am
Do you
I
play?
what?
Do you play the piano?
I
or
used to sing. I haven't
singer.
sung for years.
Well, there's a very famous singer with your name. She borrowed it from you, I
She
bet.
borrowed it. If you believe that. Would you like to buy the Brooklyn
Yes, I
Bridge?
would. That would be great, Katy. So I also saw a lovely picture of you in an exercise pose. Are you? How do you keep your body healthy? Do you do some exercises with groups, or? That was
No,
just
I just walking.
You
I
just
guess.
walk a
Yeah.
lot. You do walk a lot. Tell us about that. How far do you walk every day?
Well, it's a wonderful place to walk. Hollowell is ideal. I usually find ways to go away from the hill. I go one way and then sort of take sideways so I don't have to go up the hill. No, it's anyone can
You walk
do it.
every day.
Well,
just
I
about.
try to. If it's slippery in the wintertime, I don't.
But don't you walk a long distance every day?
No, not a long distance.
Okay, but
not
you
as
do.
much as I
but
used to.
But the regularity
That's
that
right.
you get
yeah.
it done,
Get out and see the world.
and you have a sense of humor too. Don't you think that's part of staying young?
I absolutely do. Not that you have to have a sense of humor, but that you enjoy laughter and
exactly.
telling jokes. I think that Well, if you don't, it's a negative aspect. And I think one of the things we have to do is stop listening to the negative stuff. And there's a great deal of it, and I refuse to. And that's maybe one of the reasons that I don't give a darn if I don't have a television, because it's very, very depressing.
Right. You know, the laughter piece, the famous Maine humorist, Gerard Queally, is always talking about how laughter adds to your life.
Yes, I think it
in
does.
terms of the length and the productivity. What else did you hear? I want to go back to you for a moment.
Yeah.
When you were on the road asking seniors what we wanted, what did you hear?
Well, I think what they were very comfortable with and excited about is what Spectrum Generations brings to the community centers,
Yes.
like the Cohen Center.
Tell me where all these centers are. They're all over the state?
There's 7 of them.
7, okay.
There are 2 here, one in Cohen, which is in Hollowell.
Right.
There's the Muskie Center in Waterville. There's a small center in Skowhegan.
Right.
There's another small center in Waldo up near Belfast. There's a center in Rockland. There's a center in Damariscotta. And I know I'm missing one. There's a center.
That's all right. It'll come to you.
It'll come to me.
It'll come to you. But there's centers widely
Yeah,
scattered
in every
around
county,
the
in every
state.
county, and 2 in Kennebec
And
County.
they all offer different but same kinds of opportunities for seniors. And
Absolutely. I mean, Muskie and Cohen are large.
Right.
And they have luncheons and they have big events, such as they had an Elvis impersonator
really?
recently.
And the
Talking
white,
about-
did he have on a white suit?
Yes, yep. And we had a fishing derby up at Muskie.
Oh, yes.
And we've had a lot of dances. We celebrated last year a fantastic Veterans Day, and we're going to do that again.
Oh, that's
Where we
great.
bring all the veterans in. We had standing room only, which was, I was amazed. As a veteran myself, I was amazed how many veterans live here in Central Maine. And
Yes, and to be honored like that.
absolutely,
That's great.
it was a great day. So all these activities, people come to play bridge, people come to learn dance, exercise, kind of continue on, what I call continuing on with their life. And I
And
think-
you learn new skills. I mean, you don't have to stop doing things.
and more importantly, they meet new people.
Meet new people.
And I think that's a key.
Because even if you want to live in your own home, sometimes you're ending up just as a single person there in that home, and it's lonely if you don't
Right.
get out and go to activities and enjoy yourself.
Absolutely.
So what did they tell you you could do better?
Well, they told us that we could kind of help them age in place with an understanding of the baby boomer wave coming.
Yes.
The first boomers were 65 years of age this year. So kind of how do we adapt our programs to meet those
Right.
aging adults, while at the same time stay focused on those who are, say, 75 plus. And it's going to be a balancing act for the, I think it's always been a balancing act.
Right.
But it's going to be a balancing act because those who are 65 years of age really are hooked into technology. And those who are 75 are not. And so how we communicate, they very much want us to communicate both in print and in
And
electronic
online.
media.
Uh-huh.
And that's a challenge with our budget and so forth. So it's those are and how we one of the things we're also working on is helping them transition from certain environments, hospital discharge. We are now getting involved. We're working with Maine Health and the Southern Maine Area Agency on Aging in Lincoln and Waldo and Saginaw counties in helping people who are discharged out of hospitals return into the community, return back to their homes, so that they don't have to go back into the hospital, and therefore they live longer.
Well, we'll be back to talk more about both things we can do better, things that we're already doing great, but it is clearly a wonderful organization to work with, and we seniors appreciate you very much. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment.
This is the new Hollywood. Hollywood Casino, where you can win your share of $20,000 cash and free slot play during the Spring Into Cash giveaway. On May 19th, get red carpet rich with a grand prize of $15,000 cash. Earn entries now at the place where the fun never stops. From the thrill seekers to the blockbuster winners. Here, you've got the lead role. Because there's no place like Hollywood.
Spectrum Generations. Live healthy. Live well. Get answers. Get connected. Spectrum Generations, specializing in the art of aging.
Life should be celebrated. It's a special day when family and friends gather together to celebrate the life of a loved one. A celebration of life helps us honor our loved one and keep our memories alive. Whether you're planning a traditional funeral, a creative celebration of life, or a blend of both, at Knowlton Hewins Roberts, we are truly committed to meet the personal and unique needs of you and your family. Knowlton Hewins Roberts. Visit us online or visit our 2 locations in Augusta and Winthrop.
Welcome back to Mature Lifestyles. We're celebrating older Americans, and not anybody at this table feels old at all. I certainly don't, and I know Katy doesn't, and you're just a young whippersnapper over there. But we're talking about the joys and the excitements and the things that are challenging to us as older people. And Katy has pointed out so very well, this is Katy Perry, who is a well-known TV host in her own right. She said that she did that for 10 years.
I think it was. I can't count.
And Katy, part of the things we were talking about is volunteering. And I'm going to start with this because I'm sure you didn't get paid a lot of money to do that show, did you?
Not a lot, but it was.
But it was more of a volunteer, is my point. But you're also teaching. You may not be doing the show, but you are teaching at senior college and writing classes and this sort of thing. Volunteering, if you will. Talk to us about that. You're staying mentally alert and young, and you're sharing your writing skills with others who want to learn?
Well, there are some things in life that I'm really dedicated to, and I really feel so strongly that people today think that their life means nothing, and that's absolutely wrong. Everybody that's lived a life has made history, and so often when you see something that somebody has written maybe 150 years ago, you think, how wonderful that they recorded that. Martha Ballard, a case in point,
Right.
the midwife, she kept a diary, and that was made into a Pulitzer Prize winning book, The Midwife's Tale. So every single person has stories, and one of the things that I think they ought to write about it, and that's why I have said to Maggie Tardif, who's up at the Cohen Center, hey, if you'd like to have me come up and see if I can't get people to write, I'd be happy to. And even at senior college, I've taught some courses in it, and I've got a book that we did over at Farmington,
Yes.
with seniors writing about their lives, and they're
How
really
wonderful.
Well,
because
it
you're
is wonderful.
preserving things as
That's
well
right.
as
Yep.
giving purpose.
And it maybe will never make the the evening news, but your family will be so
Right.
happy.
Oh, absolutely.
And they will know who you are. You might leave mother's grand piano or some spode, and
Right.
but they won't know who you are.
Exactly, and you know how important it is. There's a major television show with celebrities trying to search their roots, and if someone had kept better notes or diaries,
yeah.
that would have been very important to
Right.
those families.
That's a wonderful thing for the senior college to promote.
They seem to like it too, don't
That's-
they?
well,
the people who
people
they
come.
come.
Even if they have to.
I'm going to take you back a little bit further. The ultimate volunteer experience when you joined the Peace Corps. Could you tell us a little bit about why you did, where you were in your life when that decision was made, and where you went?
Yeah. Well, my husband had been gone for 3 or 4 years, and I thought, there's much more to do than sit around here and do what I'm doing. I'd like to get out and see the world. And I was sitting listening to the radio one afternoon, and it said, the Peace Corps, the hardest job you'll ever love. And so I thought, the heck with that, and I volunteered. And it took a while because you'd only go to some place
Right.
where you have some talent that you can give to other people. And it turned out it was Belize in Central America, and it was doing probably public relations work that I had done for Maine State Department of Health and Human Services, and it was 2 absolutely fantastic years.
And was it the hardest job you ever loved?
I didn't find it hard at all.
But you loved it.
I loved it, absolutely.
So your volunteerism started probably when you were very young, even younger than that, but has continued.
61.
And 61. And what would you do without volunteers?
I don't think Spectrum Generations or all the area agencies on aging could exist without volunteers. I mean, our volunteers are our backbone.
What do they do for you?
Meals on Wheels is probably the easiest and most recognizable. From preparing the meals, to packaging the meals, to delivering the meals, and actually sitting with the client or the consumer and talking to them.
As important as the food, isn't
Oh,
it?
absolutely. So socialization is key. And one of the things we use them is kind of promote what else we do. So the volunteer goes out and says, you know, can you make it to the Cohen Center? How can you get transportation? Can we help you with transportation? Are you having, when was the last time you saw your physician? Do you have problems around
Really
transportation?
important, isn't it? Sort of a connection with all the things that are out
Absolutely. And earlier you had asked me one of the things of what we need to do better.
Yes.
And our volunteers actually told us that they need to be trained better to be able to work with our clients around those issues and to be able to spot a developing crisis that we might be able to assist.
Right, they may sign up, well, I'm going to drive the meals around, that's easy, I know how to do that, but then all of a sudden they have to know how to refer, or
Absolutely.
they can call you for support, of course, but you want to know, because the people who are doing that, I'm sorry, have minds like yours. They want to know what's going on so they can be a bigger help.
I mean, we have people who were truck drivers all the way to physicians volunteering for us.
Do you need more Meals on Wheels drivers at this point?
We always need volunteers.
Always need
We have
more.
about 700 volunteers throughout Central.
Oh my
Absolutely,
goodness.
throughout Central Maine. We couldn't do it. I mean, imagine that workforce, having to pay for that workforce.
Yeah, no. Well, what else do the volunteers do?
At the community centers, they
Yes.
helped with the activities that Katy was referring to.
Yes.
Putting on the dancers, setting up tables and chairs, going out and engaging the community. Medicare fraud, assisting seniors who think that they've been under Medicare fraud.
great.
Helping seniors identify better in health insurance. A lot of volunteers, not directly for us, but they do it at our community centers for AARP, helping people with their taxes.
So you partner with others who can
absolutely.
help seniors. And
And you
but
teach. Like they're
Go ahead.
teaching, no, but they're teaching whittling for one thing.
Right,
and
right. Oh yeah, if you have a skill, we'll set up a program that
and
people
what
can come.
skill were you talking about? Whittling?
Yeah.
All right.
Woodworking.
Woodworking.
No, but that's great.
Yeah.
And
So-
like someone like Katy teaches writing.
All right.
And they have knitting classes for people that come, and it's a way that people can spend an hour together or 2 hours together doing the thing they want to do, but talking.
Katy, as we were talking earlier,
I'm
and you
sorry,
talked
I'm
about,
not
no, I want you to. This is a conversation, but you were talking about you learned some things that you might want to do better, and obviously there are always challenges with budgets, but Katy was talking about how important it was for people, even though they wanted to live at home, is to get out and socialize, and sometimes transportation is a
Absolutely.
challenge. Is that something that is
It's probably one of the bigger challenges. It's definitely in the top 10.
Right.
And we work very closely with KV CAP and with Methodist Conference Homes along the coast.
Right.
In helping them develop their transportation network, find out where the seniors are, kind of work with them around mobility management. Our information referral specialists will educate a senior about the bus routes that are out there.
Right.
They may not know. And we also are working with RSVP on helping, and we hope to
What is the RSVP?
volunteers, a local volunteer organization for seniors, and they helping them maybe do the first ride on the Kennebec Explorer.
Okay,
So
'cause
say
that might be a little challenging at first.
you can go from for $1 from Waterville to Augusta. Not many people know that.
I didn't know that.
Not many people know that, and maybe people are afraid to be able to do that because how do I get back to Waterville?
Exactly.
And so this volunteer will go with them.
Katy mentioned something else about volunteering. If people who want to volunteer just think to ask a neighbor, an elderly neighbor, would you like a ride someplace? And it doesn't necessarily create a bus or anything else. It's just a neighbor reaching out, one who drives. And you do drive, don't you?
I do.
All right, good for you.
Questionable, but I do. One of the things, though, it might be interesting to identify or say, if anyone would be interested that is watching this, how would they get in touch with you?
Oh, they could call Spectrum Generations. I believe the 1-800 number's at the bottom of our screen.
Absolutely.
And we will hook them into the right community center. Or if they know where their community center is, they could just call that directly.
Well, I hope you'll call that number because you can see they have fun, they live, they laugh, they learn. Stay tuned. We've got a very special piece of information about an upcoming event you're not going to want to miss. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back.
Spectrum Generations. Live healthy, live well. Get answers, Get connected. Spectrum Generations, specializing in the art of aging.
This is the new Hollywood. Hollywood Casino, where you can win your share of $20,000 cash and free slot play during the Spring Into Cash giveaway. On May 19th, get red carpet rich with a grand prize of $15,000 cash. Earn entries now at the place where the fun never stops. From the thrill seekers to the blockbuster winners. Here, you've got the lead role. Because there's no place like Hollywood.
Welcome back. We have a very special guest to help close out our show today. Her name is Maggie Tardiff. She's the Center Director of the Cohen Center out in Hollowell, but she's bursting with good news because next month in June, we're going to have a very special event. Can you tell us about it?
We
'Cause
are.
we want to come.
We do. We have our 4th annual Healthy Aging, Learning and Living Expo. It's a day of wellness and activities and events, and absolutely free to the public. We'll have about 35 vendors there with their products and free massage and games and great food, and we're very excited about it.
Where is it?
It's at Spectrum Generations Cohen Center at 22 Town Farm Road in Hollowell.
Okay. And the date again?
June 8th, it is a
Eight.
Friday.
What day of the week is that? All right,
Friday.
Friday. We need to
Starts at
put that
9.
on our calendar.
Yes.
Can you stay all day? Would you be bored if you stayed all day?
Oh, you certainly would not. It runs from 9 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. We've got 2 floors of various vendors in there. You can come in, do a little exercise, get a free massage, go have some lunch.
Tell me more. You had a massage. Could you get a manicure, a pedicure?
We're working on it. We're working on it. You could take a yoga class that day for free.
Wonderful.
See if it's something you like. We're what else is going on? We have Maine General as our sponsor again this year, so we'll have information there for the Cancer Center. They'll be doing skin testing. We Fit, they just love the We Fit, play golf and other things on the We Fit machine.
So the We is there so you can do your exercise. Part of it is being healthy, of course.
It is all about being healthy and healthy aging options.
Okay, and what kinds of vendors are there?
We have everybody from, of course, Maine General. Yes. We're going to be having insurance companies there offering those types of things. We have chiropractors, we have doctors in there, we have lawyers.
I think you said there's food.
There is.
Healthy food, I'm sure.
Healthy food. Cohen on the Meadows will be putting on their barbecue again this year.
Wonderful.
You can go out and get, they must have 20, 30 different things on the menu, starting from brunch, breakfast, brunch, lunch.
So you won't go hungry.
You won't. There is a fee for that, but it's a nominal fee,
small.
and it supports the Cohen Center.
Of course. So you can exercise, get a massage, learn about being healthy. What's your favorite part of that day? It's over.
No, really what it is watching everybody coming in and taking advantage of the opportunities that are there.
A lot of friends are getting back together, aren't they, on that day?
They are. You know, it's funny, at the Cohen Center, we have people who meet there for the first time and fall in love, or friends are reconnecting from kindergarten.
You make it sound wonderful. You're not going to want to miss it. Be there. For more information, call Spectrum Generations. Thank you for joining us today. Live, learn, and laugh, and enjoy yourself.
Mature Lifestyle is made possible by Hollywood Casino. There's no place like Hollywood. And by Knowlton Hewins Roberts Funeral Homes and Cremation Service. Our homes are warm and welcoming, and we take care of you and your family like we would our own. Call us anytime. We are here for you.
You're watching TWC TV, only on Time Warner Cable.